artificial intelligence is something that that's gonna make a lot of changes to everyday life as we see it, and I don't think we're preparing our kids for that, right? So I want to prepare our communities for this technology because it's a I see it as a tool, and it can kind of even the playing field if used properly.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Class is in Session. I'm your host, Ashley Stevens, and this show highlights the latest happenings inside HBCU classrooms. We shine a light on public policy issues facing these historic institutions, and we also shine a spotlight on HBCU leaders, students, and alum who are making major moves in business, the arts, and education. We also take a deeper look into issues that are of importance to our audience here at Black Enterprise, thus taking you to class. Listen, today we've got an exciting topic because, as we all know, in today's rapidly evolving digital world, classrooms are increasingly incorporating artificial intelligence, or AI, into their lessons. Students are using it constantly in daily life. Not to mention, we see the impacts in the business world, the workforce, and on social media. The Linden Institute for AI Literacy is bridging the gap by empowering educators, parents, and students in underserved communities to thrive in the age of AI through hands-on workshops, ethical AI training, and accessible community programs. So today we'll chat with the nonprofit's co-founders, Gary Lovelace, Dolores Connors, and their co-founder is also Sean Jeffries, on why it's important for families to increase financial literacy skills, stay ahead of the AI revolution, and how this technology will impact the future of work. Hello, Dolores and Gary.
Oh,
Hey,
hello.
well, how you doing?
I'm
Nice to
so
be here.
delighted to have each of you here. You know, I'm not a computer science person, but I know that if I don't start learning, I'm already going to be behind the curve. And so I'm excited to know what you all are doing at the Linden Institute. But let's get to know each of you first for our audience. If you can each just tell me, where you from, where do you live, and what your professional background is. And I'll start with Dolores.
My name is Dolores Connors, and I live in Bergenfield, New Jersey, and I am a public school educator.
Awesome.
And I'm Gary Lovelace. I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am an insurance executive.
Got it. Awesome. Awesome. And Gary, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you attended an HBCU. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, I attended the National Treasure Morgan State University and graduated from the Earl Graves School of Business.
You know, we love to hear that here at Black Enterprise after our founder, Mr. Earl G. Graves. Why did you choose an HBCU, and how did that education prepare you for what you're doing, both in insurance and in AI literacy, Gary?
Well, I chose the HBCU, and it was chosen for me. You know, my parents had a lot of input in that because they wanted me to go to a school where the institution had a vested interest in me being successful, right? And that's what, you know, they felt me going to HBCU would bring, and me going to Morgan State, I felt that, right? That the institution had a vested interest in me being successful. In terms of how it's prepared me for, today for, corporate America, I mean, it gave me the tools that I needed to navigate corporate America. And just in terms of, being able to deal with, different type of people and different situations, it prepared me well.
Got it. Got it. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that for sure. So, listen, you are two of the three co founders of the Linden Institute for AI Literacy, along with Sean Jeffries. Dolores, how did the three of you connect to form the Linden Institute?
Yeah. So Gary and Sean have a company, SGIQ, which is also doing some great AI work for businesses and corporations. And out of that work that they were doing, they were also interested in the education and the literacy component to AI. So Gary, knowing that I'm an educator, knowing that I'm very passionate about teaching and education, reached out to say, listen, how can we merge and do something to build and help parents and students and teachers become more engaged in this tool. So that's how it came together.
Got it. Got it. So, Gary, let's backtrack. Tell us, what is the mission and the vision of the Linden Institute for AI literacy?
Well, the mission is to, there's a couple of missions, right? Across the board, it's to start preparing our kids here in the U.S., for the future, right? Right now, I feel like they're being educated for a world that'll be long gone by the time they become adults. Artificial intelligence is something that's gonna make a lot of changes to everyday life as we see it, and I don't think we're preparing our kids for that, right? So that's the mission in terms of the U.S. and our children across the country. And then there's a community mission, right? Unfortunately, in our community, the different technologies that have came about in the last 40, 50 years were always being left behind, right? Whether it's, on the internet, right now there's a big push for, financial literacy, right, where we lag behind. And with AI, I don't want that to happen again, right? I want to prepare our communities for this technology because I see it as a tool and it can kind of even the playing field if used properly, right? In terms of it's new for everybody. So if we become literate in it now and start using them, maybe we can close some of these gaps, the finance gaps, some of these gaps that exist now by using this power tool.
God, it's about closing the gaps. That's really important. Dolores, tell us
Yeah.
about, what do you do each day? What do you all do individually and collectively to advance AI literacy? And who do you serve?
Okay, so we're constantly learning as this tool is evolving. Each of us is just really engaged in what's new and what's coming out. Who do we serve? We serve underserved communities. We're thinking about communities that have very little knowledge base on technology and communities that are very cautious and concerned about how they use these pieces ethically and responsibly. So we really are just keeping in mind communities that need to be a part of this bigger conversation and take advantage of the resources that this tool can bring.
Got
Right.
it. And so, do you partner with school districts? Are there regions in the country? What age group are your courses and workshops for?
So our courses are from K to 12, and we are definitely engaging in schools and community programs such as churches, where parents are, where the community is at. We're there to reach out to them. We understand that as a business in this space, that not too many people are touching on certain communities. However, they're still pushing and promoting this work, and so we want to be that for the community. We want to step up and just show that we don't want to be left out. So we are going through schools, churches, professional organizations. Where parents are, that's where we want to be. Where students are, that's where we want to be. Where concerned community members are, that's where we want to be.
Got it. Got it. So this is interesting that you all have, formed this group to really focus on AI literacy, and you each come from very varied backgrounds, from insurance to Sean, industrial hemp farming, I believe, and Dolores, the world of education. Gary, I'll start with you. How did you make the transition from the insurance, industry into artificial intelligence? What about this space piqued your interest?
Well, even in insurance industry and in corporate America, right? I mean, these companies are spending billions of dollars um, learning this technology and implementing it in the everyday workflow. So that initially piqued my interest, right? And once I kind of got the bug, myself and I joke with my partner Sean, we go down the rabbit hole, right? And it became our everyday conversation, keeping up with what's going on. Every day, every week, there's a different tool, a different platform being announced and released, and it just has become a part of our everyday conversation to the point where we decided to start a consulting business around it, which led to Linden. But it's very interesting, very curious personalities, I guess, and like I said, and when we see the importance of, you know, this what they call the fourth industrial revolution, and I think this is probably going to have more impact than the preceding industrial revolution. So,
Got it. The fourth industrial
yeah,
revolution. That's interesting. And you're right in terms of the impact. I think it is far and wide for sure. And
yeah,
Dolores, obviously, you've spent your career in education, so I can see a natural fit in terms of how, you use your expertise to help lead and guide the curriculum portion. But I also noticed that you are an author and you've written books about giving a voice to children with autism. So tell us a little bit about that. Why is that work important to you? And how does your work as an author and an educator tie into your work with the Linden Institute?
Right. So supporting and giving a voice to students that are struggling with disabilities, with deficiencies, and just giving them the forefront of being centered in this space of we hear you, we see you, you're important to us, and we want you to do well. So with that in mind, and knowing that there's a tool that will help support, be it through tutoring or through practice or through just reinforcing what's happening in the classroom, it was just a no-brainer that this was the way to go. Education is important for everyone, especially the ones that need it the most.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Thank you for sharing that. I'm curious too. Dolores, I'm like I said, I'm not a computer science person. I'm trying to do better with AI, but I know that if I don't soon, I'll be left behind. So for folks who may know absolutely nothing about the vast world of AI, does the Linden Institute offer courses for beginners as well as folks who are intermediate and advanced? I know you mentioned K through 12, and I didn't know, what skill sets, in those ranges of courses that you offer.
Yeah, so we offer an introductory into AI literacy because, as you read our backgrounds, none of us are either computer scientists or have the background in this. But what we are vested in is making sure that this platform does not leave us, that we are going to use it to our advantage, that we are going to learn as much as we can. And so, for everyone at different stages, we're there for them. So whether you're being introduced to AI, like what's the language, what's the vocabulary, what are some of these support systems that are out there, we're there to introduce that to you. We're there to also take it to the next level. Once you understand what's the best way to move forward with this, coding is something that we're also looking at in, in response to our students in their learning. So yeah, we're really trying to be diverse in what we offer for this platform because that's what the platform calls for. Everyone is jumping in at a space of, I need to learn this. How do I learn it? What's the best way? And it's continuing to grow. So none of us will always have the answer the best way because it's just that kind of engagement that this platform brings. So yeah, we're just ready at different levels. We're here.
Got it. Got it. That's really important. Gary, what does it mean to be a partner with your nonprofit, and how can interested partners get involved?
well, being a partner can mean a few things, right? Partnering with schools and PTAs and churches and community organizations to provide a space, a way to deliver, these courses, these workshops to, the communities, to parents, to teachers, to students, right? You can partner like that. And then also in terms of, institutions, companies who would want to partner with us in terms of sponsorship, right? Because, we're going to need that financial support to be able to deliver these workshops to the communities, right? So there's different ways, and I'm sure there's other ways that people can partner up with us. The first thing is to have an interest in spreading this literacy and seeing the importance and the value of it. And once you have that, we can find a way to partner up with you as long as you're committed to what we're doing.
Got it. And so another question that comes to mind, and do you all directly train students, educators, parents in AI literacy, or do you offer coursework to educators and say, hey, here's information for you to go out and teach your students about AI literacy? Or is it a combination of both? Are you training the trainers, or are you the direct line of of training, so to speak, for your clients?
So at this very moment, we're the trainers. But as we move forward with our business, with our growth, then we want to be able to spread it out there to whoever can be in a position to teach and to lean for it. We know that we can't be everywhere, but we know that this is everywhere and we know we want it to spread. So yeah, we definitely are thinking about growth and moving forward to be able to train people to be able to do this work.
Got it, got it. And Dolores, I guess kind of along these lines as well, how has the role of parents changed as AI has evolved? And what should parents know about or learn about in terms of engaging with their children in AI? I mean, I tell you now, there's some kindergartners that could best me any day on an iPad and talking to it and sending text messages and FaceTime. I mean, they know digital technology as much as grown people. So what's the conversation parents should have with their families and children?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So parents should be just as curious and courageous as their children, right? We want them curious. We want parents to not shy away from this. Technology can kind of feel somewhat dated for people or feel out of date for people who are just trusted in their natural way of being. However, young people are very curious about the world and welcome all kinds of different experiences. So we want parents to grow in that experience. We also want parents to trust, right? There's definitely, a concern about privacy, about, how students are and children are spending their time. But we want parents to kind of lean in and give a little bit of trust to this and to take this journey with their child, right? This is new for everyone. So it's not as if the student or the young person, the child, is so far ahead of the parent. The parent and the child can kind of experience this together and both grow. So we want it to be a partnership that builds a relationship or strengthens a relationship in regards to learning and support. Where in the past, without this tool, it could be very challenging for some parents. So
Got it. So you're
yeah,
working to break that barrier so that it's not challenging between the
ex-
parents and children. That's really important. Gary,
Yeah.
let's look at this from the business aspect, right? Why should small businesses in particular develop and execute AI strategies? I mean, and if you don't do it, are you risk being left behind in the global economy?
So yeah, so small businesses, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, right? At this time, this is they have a unique opportunity to kind of level the playing field with some of their competitors that might have more resources than them, right? So if you're a small business, you're a solopreneur, right? You might not have the resources to hire receptionists, right? If you're a plumber, you make your money being a plumber, not answering phones, scheduling appointments, trying to generate leads, things of that nature. So in terms of the AI agents that we build for small businesses, for entrepreneurs, and even larger businesses, these tools could take on roles and perform duties that repetitive functions, not at this point, not any rocket science or anything, but just repetitive functions, clerical functions that can give the time to the owner of the business and give them the bandwidth to perform the duties that's bringing in the revenue. So it's a, like I said, it's a unique opportunity to kind of level the playing field for those who don't have access to resources like some of their larger competitors.
Got it. Opportunity to level the playing field. That's very,
Yeah,
very true with the assistance of AI and AI tools. Gary, with
yeah.
what you all do here at the Linden Institute for AI literacy, do you also support business owners and entrepreneurs in their literacy skills of AI and financial literacy?
Yeah, they're welcome, right? In terms of intro to AI, they're welcome to come and sit in and get a introduction to it, and hopefully it piques a curiosity for them to go out and go down the rabbit hole and learn more, right? So yeah, so we support that, and I know there's a big conversation around financial literacy, especially in our community, and this goes hand in hand because in terms of being literate in AI will help you in your financial literacy goals as well. It's a tool. It's a power tool. It can only enhance whatever you're doing and focusing on. So they kind of go hand in hand.
Gotcha, gotcha. I want to kind of go back and set the scene. If I'm, a sixth grade teacher uh,
Mhm.
in in North Carolina, and I want to expose my students and some of their parents to AI literacy. What would I need to do through your foundation? How often are courses held? Is everything virtual? Um, what does a course or workshop look like, and what does it entail for someone who's interested, in your offerings?
So at this point, we're offering a 90-minute workshop, and they are live and in person. So if someone reaches out to us, we will definitely do our best to make it there wherever they are. But at this moment, our workshops are live and in person. You see, with us at Linden, we do know that this is technology, but we also believe in the intimacy of relationships and learning. And we appreciate and value what that means to do that in person. So we are holding a lot of in person pieces and we'll definitely move into the digital space. But right now, yeah, we're in person, and it's a 90-minute workshop for intro to AI. We're offering also a teacher workshop as well as a student workshop. So 3 different areas of focus in regards to how you can engage with this technology and tool.
That's really cool. So you travel across the country for the in-person sessions?
Yes, we will. Yes.
Wow. Wow. So in addition to you 3 as the co-founders, there's a larger team also of trainers and educators?
Well, at this moment, it's us,
Awesome.
and, but we
We're
are
looking
looking for
for a
people
team.
to be
Yeah.
able to train, but it's us. This is our baby, this is important to us. We are very, very sensitive about this work and very serious about it, and we handle it with great care. So, yes, we are ready to go out there and share it, and at some point, we will be offering trainers for people to spread it.
Wow. I think that's a noble effort that speaks to the value of what you offer and how important it is to you to meet people face to face. Because for some folks, any and everything you seem here can already seem like a foreign language in the world of AI. And it can be a little intimidating to some. Maybe I'm telling on myself. But it's awesome to know that, hey, you can come face to face to give an introduction to AI. I think that's actually a powerful thing. And Gary, I guess to follow up on that, how can students, educators, parents take the lessons that they've learned from the Linden Institute and apply them to real world education and to real world career settings and career opportunities?
Well, soon we're not going to have a choice, right? AI is, right now we're in a stage where it's the earthquake before the tsunami, right? And once that tsunami hits, we're not going to have a choice in terms of kind of using AI in terms of business and in our personal life. I mean, we're already using it. Siri is AI, right? Alexa. So there's already elements that we're using it now, but in the next, I would say 18 to 24 months, in terms of work wise, a lot of these companies are building these tools into their workflows, and either you're going to be able to work with it, or you won't be, you'll probably have to find something else to do, right? That's just the reality of what's coming. So, you know, honestly, we really all don't have a choice. It's a literacy, right? Like it's soon it'll be likened to knowing how to read and knowing how to use the computer and use the internet. All of these things we had to learn to be able to be productive, and AI is just another one.
That's a great way to look at it. It's gonna be the literacy portion is gonna be just as fundamental as reading and
Yes.
writing,
Yeah.
in classrooms. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
I think something else that comes to mind, when I think about artificial intelligence, recently, on the streets of Instagram, There
Uh-oh.
is a video going around, and I don't know if you all have seen it, but it's Tupac shopping in Target. Did you all
Okay.
see that video by chance? Like,
No.
I've
people have
seen
run out. I mean, just
yeah,
AI, it's gotten out of control. So
yeah,
here's the late great Tupac Shakur shopping at Target on a video. And if you think about how real it looks and how far we've
yeah,
come, even if you think about years ago, how people were mystified at holograms, like when
yeah,
Michael Jackson would show up on stage in the form of a hologram. And we just thought that was so mind blowing. But to think of how real it is when we see on our phone, like, now I know that ain't Tupac up at the Target.
yeah,
So the question is, Dolores, listen, to some people, this technology is fascinating. And to
Sure,
some, it is absolutely disturbing in terms of
sure,
how far AI is going. How do
sure.
ethics come into play? And how does the Linden Institute teach folks to use AI responsibly?
Yeah. So we definitely are in surveillance society right now, right? So people are rightfully so concerned about how their information, how their data, how that's being protected and stored, right? So as you open yourself up to using this tool, it's natural that the concerns of where does this go? Right? How far does this go? So with Linden, we do go over some ethical practices. We got our work into just other standards that have been set by other organizations, technology-based organizations that are trusted. So we have a ethical responsibility to share that, and we definitely understand the concern that parents and students and teachers come in with this work. So we do the best we can to keep people informed of how to be safe with it, but this is data. I mean, just like when people were first using the cell phone, right? And they're putting their phone numbers in. I mean, it's just how we embrace technology with caution. Um, and that's where we're at. So, but we do our best to just hide to have standards that we follow and ethical practices that
yeah.
guide our work. So,
Got it. That's important. That's really important. Gary, what's been most rewarding to you as you all have led this work? And then I'll ask the same of Dolores.
What's the most rewarding? Well, to me, what's rewarding is being at the forefront of helping our communities learn and embrace this technology. Um, to kind of help them out, right? It's a power tool, so to help them do certain things and just kind of forge our way into the new world, right? And yeah, that's the rewarding part to me. Just being a part of, I think, is a solution, right? Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Yeah.
Got it. Being a part of the solution. Yes. Dolores.
yeah. So for me as an educator, this is the game changer. Working with special education students, students with autism, students with just variety of deficiencies, knowing that this tool can help them, knowing that they can walk into a classroom confident, ready to share, ready to learn more. That's it. It excites me. I get excited thinking about what parents will say about their children as they brag about how well their children are doing and how everyone is engaged in learning. It is very exciting for me. So I welcome it and I'm really excited for where it's going in the future.
Love to hear it. Speaking of the future, as we wrap up, Gary, I want you to tell us what's next for the AI industry as a whole. And then Dolores, what's next for the Linden Institute specifically?
So what is next for the AI industry? As I said, in the next 18 or 24 months, it is going to become a part of everybody's everyday life, in terms in the workforce, in terms of at home. Right now, the world, right, is getting ready for an AI future, and it's going to become a part of everybody's life in so many ways. So that's pretty much it's so much. It's hard to pinpoint what exactly is next because it's kind of going to be like everything, you know?
It's gonna be pervasive, in other words, it's gonna be everywhere, so you better get on board?
You better get on board.
Got it. And Dolores, what's next for the Linden Institute?
More workshops, more information, more support, more care, more just really getting people to feel comfortable with this tool so that they use it for their advantage. So that's AI, Linden AI. We are here to support and just bridge people along so that they can do well, feel good, and just be confident about where they're standing. So yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Got it. Doing more and helping empower and educate folks, particularly in underserved communities. Where can folks find out more about you and what you do?
Okay, we have a website, www.lindenAIinstitute.org. We have social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and that's pretty much where we promote. But if you want to learn more about the Linden Institute, it is lindenAIinstitute.org.
Got it. LindenAIinstitute.org. Awesome. Well, listen, I've enjoyed learning about what you do because the fact that you're teaching people about this fourth industrial revolution, it's important. It's important, particularly to our communities. It
Yeah,
really is. And knowing that you have offerings from, kindergartners to high school, but also to educators and parents, because the generational gaps honestly can be very dividing because sometimes, like I said, the younger people know much more than
yeah,
older adults do in this space and in this age. Years before, in terms of literacy, adults teach children how to read and write. And
yeah,
now it's like, now the young kids are teaching us how to do things in the digital, in the AI world.
yeah.
So it's such a interesting dichotomy to see how this is all playing out. But kudos to you all at the Linden Institute for
Thank you.
AI literacy for staying ahead of the trend. Y'all are definitely ahead of the curve and helping people to get there with you. So, congrats on all you're doing, and
Thank
we'll
you.
look to stay connected so that we can, make sure more folks know about you and what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much to the co-founders of the Linden Institute for AI Literacy for joining us today, Gary Lovelace, Dolores Connors, and also their co-founder, Sean Jeffries. They're really working to make sure that folks are empowered and educated when it comes to AI literacy, AI ethics, financial literacy as well, and how all of this will impact the future of work. So to everyone, be sure to share this episode with family, with friends. Stay posted for the latest and greatest on Black Enterprise's social media channels, also on blackenterprise.com. For this episode of Class is in Session, I'm your host, Ashley Stevens, and class is dismissed. For more than 5 decades, we've had your back. Class is in Session, and Black Enterprise have everything you need to elevate your excellence.